Friday, June 17th, we pulled out of Cleveland at 9:48 a.m. and headed west to Kelly's Island off the coast of Sandusky, Ohio. This would be a very long 11-hour and 44-minute trip. The waves averaged around 6 foot, and the wind was on our nose at about 15 knots. It was very slow going. About 3 hours out of Cleveland, the engine would stop. This was not a good feeling. After about 10 minutes, it would restart and get us to Kelly's Island late that evening. So it is Friday. We left Cleveland around 10 o'clock this morning, and the weather has not been in our favor. We are currently heading west 274 degrees, and we're only traveling currently 4.7 knots for the last 3 hours or more. We've only been traveling at around 3 knots, and in some cases it was only 2. So for those of you who do not know what a headwind is, it's when the wind comes right onto the nose of the boat. And so the wind's coming right onto the nose of the boat, and so are the waves. Seas are probably 5 feet, and they're currently rolling about 10-second increments. 10-second increments, which is a lot better than it was this morning. They were in about 6 seconds. So it's getting late in the day. It's probably 3:30. We were supposed to arrive at Kelly's Island this evening by 5. That's not going to happen. We'll be lucky if we're there by midnight. So that makes it interesting. It was very dark when we arrived at the marina. Tristan used the spotlight and I was on the helm. It was very difficult to see, but with the help of some folks at the marina, we arrived and secured Fish Tank to the dock. We would make our way downtown just in time for the last call. The burgers were good and just what we needed. It was an interesting island where golf carts seemed to be the main mode of transportation. As we walked back to the marina that night, we noticed the mayflies were very thick. Saturday, June 18th. This morning, the marina staff was actually sweeping mayflies off the building and the dock. We spent some time spraying the decks off. The weather again was not favorable. The wind was out of the north and the waves were sizable. Against better judgment, we headed out around 10 a.m. As we passed Green Island, the engine began to act up again. She would eventually stall and not restart. We were officially adrift. Due to the issues with the sail, high winds, rough seas, and broken engine, we opted to use my birthday gift for Dad, Boat US tow service. It would take about an hour for them to reach us. We got the boat turned around and surfed the waves to make it a bit more comfortable. When they arrived, we attached their oversized bridle lines to the bow for the journey to Port Clinton, Ohio. The tow was tricky to navigate the channel and drawbridge. The boat captain was very skilled and placed us in a slip around 5 p.m. at Brand's Marina. We arrived exhausted and feeling defeated. Well, this is where Fish Tank has ended up. Engine went out. We were probably 18 miles offshore on our way out of Kelly's Island and had to call for Boat US. Ended up in this boatyard at Port Clinton, and now we're going to go figure out what the next step is. Tristan and I would walk to town and enjoy a meal and some live music. We would walk back to the boat and call it a night by 8 p.m. Sunday, June 19th. We spent the morning working on the fuel system. Fortunately, the marina was open till noon so we could purchase some new filters and complete the repairs by late afternoon. Tristan and I would rent 2 jet skis from 5 to 6 and have some fun. We would fix dinner on the boat and spend the evening at the marina hot tub well until after it closed. Monday, June 20th. We would top off with diesel at 8 a.m. and cast off by 8:30. Today's destination would be the Detroit River, 66 miles north. We did not have a confirmed reservation, but would end up staying at the Bayview Yacht Club, the home of the trophy for the Port Huron to Mackinac race.
I don't think you got any of them.
We would arrive just after 7 p.m. The entrance was narrow and not super clear. We docked on our port side. Once inside, the staff was a bit difficult and wanted proof that we were members of a yacht club. Dad would produce some documents that would appease them. Tuesday, June 21st. We would leave Bayview Yacht Club at 7:45 a.m. for a long day of motoring 57 miles upriver. The trip through Lake St. Clair and the St. Clair River was beautiful. This area was nothing like I had imagined it to be. The majority of the day, we were riding the Canadian border. We would pull into Desmond Marine just before 6 p.m. and top off with fuel. Dad's friend would pick us up and take us back to his home for a nice home-cooked meal. It was a nice visit for everyone. We would return to the boat just before 10 p.m. I had studied the chart and predict wind extensively this evening because we did not want another day of just motoring. We had a plan, and we would leave around 5 a.m. to get the most sailing possible. Wednesday, June 22nd. We would pull out at 5 a.m. from Desmond Marine in Port Huron for the longest and last day of our adventure. As we passed under the Blue Water Bridge, we would raise the sails. Predict wind had the wind coming out of the west until late morning. It would then switch to the northwest as we approached the thumb and then shift to the northeast wind as we rounded the thumb. My plan worked, and we sailed the entire day. Originally, we were planning on stopping along the way, but we were tired and we had the right wind to go all the way home. As we rounded the thumb, the sun began to set. We would pull into Tawas Bay Condominium Marina at 11:30 p.m. We had sailed 118 miles in one day and we were all exhausted. The final approach to the marina was slow because we could not see anything and the channel markers were not clear. This would be the trip of a lifetime that was completed by 3 generations of my family on board a boat that my dad and I spent years searching for. The trip was extremely challenging at times and revealed weaknesses that we all had. There were times where we wanted to quit and there were times that we questioned our decisions. In every way, this single trip summarized one's life journey. Life is always a challenge and it is filled with challenges and decisions. We make choices and continue to press forward to reach the end. I am so glad that we made the trip together and created memories that will last a lifetime.